The Florida Panthers somehow came out with a win in Game 1 against the Oilers, and it's all because of this man, Sergei Bobrovsky. This guy is already driving the Oilers nuts, and we are just one game into this series, and now the Panthers are one step closer to Lord Stanley. The Oilers dominated Florida, but let's take a look at what Game 1 showed us and how it can affect the rest of the series from this point on. Right away in the first minute of the game, we saw that Sergei Bobrovsky was absolutely dialed in to start it off. However, we also saw stylistically how these two teams matched up. Florida would get on the board first, as the Panthers would capitalize off a few slow reads from the Oilers to show us just how fast this game is truly going. In our Cup Final preview, we talked about how the Panthers could potentially make the Oilers pay off the rush if they catch their F3 being slightly too aggressive. On goal number 1, as the Oilers get set up in their 1-2-2 forecheck, McDavid is technically the F3 on this play, being the last forward into the zone. Now, as the F1 in Nugent-Hopkins goes to pressure Ekblad into making a play, McDavid takes a slightly different route in anticipation of a turnover. But instead, Florida's D is able to avoid the pressure with a solid pass, and just like that, McDavid is behind the play. Despite being the fastest player in the world, he's now a step behind, and that creates a 3-on-2 for Florida the other way. Now, Darnell Nurse and Cody Ceci back as the defensive pairing, all they want to do is hold the middle to not allow this to turn into a 2-on-1. However, the Panthers' speed forces both Ceci and Nurse to overcommit, and that leaves Verhaeghe open for the first goal of the game. There's not much that Stuart Skinner could have done on that play, but the Panthers score on the first shot of the game, and that is a trend that Skinner has had all season long. That is the 11th time this season that the first shot of the game has went in, and the 4th time during these playoffs. But despite giving up the early goal, the Oilers drove the play in the first period and almost responded right back with this chance from Connor McDavid. Now, all series long, we're likely going to see the matchup of Forsling against McDavid, but with the Panthers on a change, the Oilers use a quick up for McDavid to attack Ekblad for a more favorable matchup. Forsling and Ekblad are actually caught on their wrong sides here from where they usually play. McDavid is able to cook him with speed, but Officer Bobrovsky is there again. That would be a major theme in Game 1, trust me, but for the most part, the Oilers were able to dominate the Panthers at their own game with the forecheck. Watch here how the Oilers D and CC decides to join the rush to extend the possession and get the puck below the goal line. Here's where the Oilers can use their speed to psych out Florida. Most defensemen this time of the year are expecting to eat a check from the F1 here. As the F1, Holloway is just going to do a little flyby of the D and go straight to the boards to cut off the rim. The speed of the Oilers on the forecheck creates a really good chance for Draisaitl, but Bob is there once again. Here the Oilers dump in the puck, Bobrovsky comes out to play it, but the speed of the Oilers has already set traps everywhere to cut off the play. They outnumber Florida down low, show tremendous puck support, go low to high, and get shots on net. To give you an idea of how effective the Oilers' forecheck was in this game, they possessed the puck in the offensive zone for 7 minutes and 51 seconds of Game 1. That is the highest allowed by the Panthers in these playoffs. Speaking of that forecheck, a key for the Oilers in this series is going to be evading it from the Panthers, and the best way that they can do that is through quick puck movement. If the Oilers can consistently and quickly bump the puck north before the F1 can close in, it can beat the pressure and get the Oilers going on offense. Watch here as Florida dumps it in to start the forecheck, and notice this little pick here by Ekholm to just buy some space for his partner to make a play. He doesn't even touch the Florida F1, but he simply gets in his way and then peels off towards the boards to give Bouchard an outlet. There's quick bump number 1, and here's Kane on the boards there for support. Ekholm makes a second bump pass off the boards, and Kane knows that this F3 is going to press, so all he does is simply shield the puck with his body so that the center support in Draisaitl can come pick this up. With quick and simple puck movement, Edmonton catches 3 forwards caught in deep, with them having an odd man rush the other way. Now, even though you want to get the puck moving north quickly against this Panthers team, you absolutely cannot panic. Here, Connor Brown is in a tough spot. The D is pinching in, he's got back pressure, and the middle of the ice is covered. Now, instead of throwing it up the wall and panicking, he actually bumps it back to safety below the goal line, and all that pressure from a second ago has alleviated from Florida's D caught in deep. With time and space, the Oilers are now going to run a set play in the neutral zone that we saw the Rangers use a lot in these playoffs. One Oiler player is going to build speed through the neutral zone, as another stays in the middle to attract attention. As the pass reaches center and all the assignments go to pressure to cut off space, the Oilers have a winger in motion. That player receiving the puck does a quick bump into the direction of the winger, and now you catch your guy in full speed behind the opposing D. The Rangers use this quite a bit in these playoffs to get through some stout defensive teams, and it's drawn up perfectly here, but Bobrovsky shuts the door. Now, despite Edmonton doing a good job at evading the forecheck of the Panthers, Florida was still incredibly opportunistic. Sam Bennett has a monster shift here as he dumps in the puck and then just flat out beats two Oilers to win the race. He catches everyone by surprise, and the Panthers bury off a simple dump and chase chance that could have been avoided had Edmonton made better reads and won a foot race. Now, coming into this series, special teams was a big storyline. Neither team was able to score on the power play in this game, as both kills were perfect. However, Sergei Bobrovsky was certainly the best penalty killer for the Panthers. We talked about in our Cup Final preview how Edmonton will look to expose the Panthers' diamond PK by going down low to create a 2v1. The Oilers try this a few times by having the puck carrier swing up high and get this killer to chase, and then a quick pass down low opens up a 2v1 opportunity, but Bobrovsky is just a brick wall. And really, that is the biggest difference in this game, because despite how well Edmonton played, Bobrovsky stoned the Oilers. To give you an idea of how dominant Bobrovsky was in this game, he had a plus 4.23 goals save above expected, 19 saves versus slot shots, and 14 saves versus inner slot shots, including multiple on Draisaitl and McDavid. The way that he was tracking and anticipating the puck was simply off the charts. When he's at his best, it's his athleticism and positioning mixed together that make him so frustrating to play against. These flurry of saves from the power play surge from the Oilers showed just how dialed in he was. First, look at how he anticipates this chance by beating the pass and challenging Draisaitl right away. He takes away enough of the net to make a point-blank save, and then magic happens. The athleticism takes over, and he puts on an acrobatic show to absolutely rob Nugent-Hopkins. Look at how focused he is and how well he's tracking the puck with his head movement when Draisaitl makes this pass. Despite there being a Florida defender there to block the shot, he never loses track of the puck. He tracks the puck all the way around his defender as the puck arrives to Bouchard, and that allows him to make a perfect save. Bobrovsky is beating passes consistently right now, but a big part is that he's not cheating. He's playing every puck honestly, and that forces opponents to pass and overhandle the puck. With every save that he makes, the frustration continues to build for the Oilers. It is just game one, but we're going to see how the Oilers change their game and if shooters start to pass up opportunities in the hopes of trying to create a perfect play to beat Bobrovsky. Panthers take game one despite them playing one of their worst games in a while, and despite getting goalied, if the Oilers continue to play like that and dictate the pace, the results will follow. That being said, if Bobrovsky continues to be an animal, it's a massive problem for the Edmonton Oilers. So, what did you think of Game 1? Let us know in the comments down below. Not to ruin an Oilers fan's day, but historically, teams who win Game 1 in the Cup Final go on to win the series 76% of the time. However, that's exactly why we play the game, and it's a 7-game series for a reason. Anyways, drop your opinions down below, and if you want to see our breakdowns for every game of this series, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss a thing.